What is up, YouTube? This is Hypergon here at Cat, back again for another video, and welcome to the newest edition of Throwdown Thursday. Now, this week I said I was going to do something else, but I didn't have the time for it because I'm getting back into school and stuff, so my videos may slow down a little bit, fair warning. Hopefully not, though. But this week we're going to be featuring a new set of cards that I've incorporated into a personal favorite deck of mine, being the Dragunities. And the cards that I will be showcasing are actually the new Red Dragon Archfiend monsters, the new Synchro ones. Two of them are set to release in, what do you call it, High-Speed Riders. It's kind of like the next Tribal Forces, the one that gave us the Necros and the Yosenju and the Ritual Beast Tamers. But this one's going to give us some Red Dragon Archfiend cards and the Speedroids. So, well, new Speedroids anyway. But I always thought they were kind of cool, so I decided to check them out, and they actually worked very well with how the deck works. I'm probably going to end up making this. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get King Calamity, though, because he doesn't come in that set. But anyway, I have a series of duels here to show you guys to showcase what the new Red Dragon Archfiends are capable of. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, so starting things off, I actually have a quick little duel here against a Gaga player. Fair warning, just right now, not a lot of these duels actually come to fruition because for some reason a lot of people just cannot seem to be willing to end a duel. Like I said, rage quitters are a big thing, unfortunately, on DevPro. But while this is going on, let me just kind of explain to you what each of the Red Dragon Archfiends are. The first is a level 9 Synchro monster called Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. What he does is that he is able to negate the effect of one face-up card during either player's turn once per turn, and when he inflicts battle damage to an opponent, he can special summon one tuner monster from your graveyard. Then there's the next one, which is level 10, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Belial. And you're going to see him in just a second, actually. Now what he can do is that he can tribute a monster and special summon a level 8 or lower Dark Dragon Synchro monster from your graveyard, which I actually just did there. It's one of the main things that I found works really well with this deck. And when he inflicts damage, he can special summon two tuners, one from your graveyard and one from your deck, with the same level. So in this case, I went for 2 level 2s, so I can go into the third one. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Now what he does is that on the turn that he is summoned, your opponent cannot activate any cards or effects. Unfortunately, I was only able to get him out during the end phase, like the main phase 2, so it didn't really matter that much. But he's still a 4,000 beater, so it's kind of hard to argue with it. Also, whenever he's destroyed, he would special summon a level 8 or lower Dark Dragon type Synchro monster from your graveyard. And that's kind of where that ended, because I guess he messed up something. So, moving on to that, we now have Red Dragon Archfiend versus Chaos. This is actually kind of an interesting one. But yeah, that's kind of how all of them work. The first two, Abyss and Belial, require a Dark Dragon type Synchro monster and a tuner monster, and then Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity requires a Dark Dragon type Synchro monster and 2 tuners. So he's kind of like the new Red Nova Dragon. That's pretty much how those guys work. I've also discovered a fun little loop you can do with them with Samsara Dragon, as he is a monster reborn, and coincidentally a level 8 or lower Dark Dragon type Synchro monster, which, when King Calamity gets destroyed, he automatically special summons. So you can create a fun little loop between the two of them. I didn't manage to get it off ever, because people either rage quit before I could get it off, or I won too quickly. These cards are amazingly good, honestly. But, yeah, getting back to the actual duels at hand here, like I said, this was just some Chaos guy I was facing off against. I decided to take in Dandelion in place of the Card Troopers, just because Card Trooper was kind of random and didn't really help out too much. And those fluff tokens actually come in handy more often than you think. They can usually make up the extra 2 levels I would need to go into an 8-star Synchro. Don't ask why I played Ravine over Ravine. I just was unconsciously clicking. I just kind of did it. But yeah, right here, like I was talking about, I can still do my duck stuff and set 2 extra levels here. I don't have to worry about wasting a Vajrayana, and I can just go into wherever I want. For those of you wondering what this guy is, I actually made another video about him. Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight, or as he's going to be known for us, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. I don't know why I didn't use his effect here either. I guess I was just having an off day with this duel. But for those of you guys who don't know what this guy does, he's Jack's new boss monster in the Arc 5 anime. And it's just generic rank 8, level 8, sorry. His name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard, and once per turn you can destroy as many special summoned effect monsters whose attack is less than or equal to this card's attack as possible, other than him, obviously, and then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. So he's pretty good. He doesn't come out until the next set, which I believe is Dimensions of Chaos. Should be coming out sometime in October or November. But yeah, it's pretty much just my standard Dragunity build, just with the extra deck modified for these guys, a couple extra tuners to accommodate cards like Belial and stuff like that. So this guy keeps doing his thing, he just grabs a bunch of stuff. He only now decides to Raigeki me. I don't know why he waited that long, but whatever. So you guys might have noticed I have a Windross down here as well. I decided to take him into my normal Dragunity deck. I've since taken him out of this one in order to replace him with a Scarlet Vase, which essentially serves the same thing as being mass back row hate. And it works when you have a Red Dragon Archfiend on the field, and since Scar Right counts as one, I can just use him, and he's infinitely better than regular Red Dragon Archfiend. I didn't like him that much in the beginning, but he's kind of grown on me. So let's see now. Here I just decided to use Ravine's effect, drop Zephyros, and grab a Legionnaire. Because I just lost Windross, I knew I couldn't attack, so I figured I'd just go ahead and set up a Samsara. Like I said, it does create a funny little loop if I can ever get him and King Calamity out at the same time. And with Legionnaire, Samsara is pretty easy. And he can just be a general monster reborn to give me my other stuff anyway. So, let's see, what did I do here? That's right, I went for Ducks here, just tried to keep getting some of my stuff out, go for more dragons, all that stuff. Oh yeah, that's right, that's what I did here. Okay, so here I actually did something kind of interesting. I decided to actually make 2 Vajrayanas so I can actually overlay into a tomb. So what I did with that was I then attached that, got Red Eyes, and used Red Eyes' effect to get back Hot Red Dragon Archfiend and go into Belial. I then used him, attributed the used up a tomb, I had no use for him anymore, and just got out my Scar Right. See, that's the thing I love about what this deck can do, especially when combined with the Dragunity engine. It just works so well for being able to get these kinds of things out. It's hilarious the comeback that I can make. So here the guy just decides to kind of try and wipe out some of my field. I can't blame him for this. So yeah, all that happens. He uses Jin's effect, so it's kind of like a one-for-one thing there. He's damn lucky that Samsara only works when being destroyed by my opponent's card effects, or I would have distributed him with Belial and solved that whole issue right there. But instead I decided to go for Breed Dragon so I could get back Dandelion. And my plan at that point was to actually go for Ancient Pixie Dragon, because it works well with a field spell, which I have plenty of, and is again another level 8 or lower Dark Dragon type Synchro monster. But he surrendered in the middle of my turn, like an asshole, I might add. And that was where that duel ended there. And next up was, I believe, this one? Yeah, this one. Alright, so this is actually a pretty interesting duel. I didn't even know what to call it, so I just called it like a warrior deck. But it's actually a really clever build. It's wholly original as far as I can tell, and I have to give the guy credit for this one. This is actually a really cool deck. So he goes for Assault Mode. I wasn't sure which variant of Assault Mode he was running until he did this move. Colossal Fighter. So now I know which Assault Mode monster to expect. So shockingly, he decided to activate Assault Mode, activate there. So it's going to weaken my monsters, but that hardly is a problem for me since I have the Red Dragon Archfiends, and I know they can destroy this card really easily. I I did, however, not take this part into consideration, where he comes out stronger than me, so that was a miscalculation on my end, but it happens. So, that's much I can really do about that. It was either he has big monsters or I have weak monsters, and I'd rather him have big monsters, because that's a little easier for me to get around, technically. So I just Dragon Shrine so I can set myself up, send a Corseska, just so that way if I can't get out Belial, I can take full advantage of his effect, or if I manage to get Abyss, I can do that. He just goes for a second Colossal Fighter here, further making things difficult for me. But thank God I had Fluff tokens, thanks to Dandelion's effect, so I don't take any damage there. I'm in a bit of a pickle, as y'all can see with this one. This was a very difficult duel to work around. But thankfully, I actually managed to get Red Dragon here, which was extremely helpful. And I just went to Samsara. I'm not 100% certain why I didn't go into Scar Right. I'm sure there was some kind of a reason for that, even though Scar Right would have just been an amazingly helpful card for me to go into. But whatever, it happens. So I just had to kind of take that damage fully on. I just had to end it here. That wasn't the only thing I do. I was pretty much at this point just hoping he would attack my Samsara so I could get back something, but if he attacked Samsara first, then that actually would have been a pretty good stop to me, because I couldn't have done anything past that. He decided to go for Arc for some reason or another. I'm not entirely sure why. So, yeah, he really could have kind of screwed me over, but I don't think he realized it. This is where I make Legionnaire go to work. This shows what the monster is truly capable of. So I equip that, give him this, and put Atlas on him. So here's what I do. Send that, target him with Legionnaire's effect. It's going to pop Colossal Fighter. Atlas effect goes off, pops the other Colossal Fighter. I then use his effect again, get rid of Arc, and do it a third time to remove all of his materials. So I just managed to reduce him down to a single worthless Arc, which to me was incredibly helpful. So he just attacks me there, fine. Legionnaire did his job. He cleared out 2 big monsters and the threat of the third one, so I just decided to go ahead and Cards of Consonance here, just drop Brandistock, see if I can get anything else. I go across Soul Charge, which is amazing. I figured I'd just use that. He decided to use Ring of Destruction on my Sams. I guess he was planning on using it on my Red Dragon Archfiend, but he didn't realize he couldn't do that. And here he actually gave me the perfect opportunity to go into Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, or Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. So now I can negate any of his face-up effects. Damn, that is terrible timing for a Bottomless. Jesus. So I just kind of keep wailing away at him with this giant heaping mass of death. My plan at this point was actually to try and slowly set up a King Calamity, because I figured if I could just keep doing this next turn, then I can just do that and be fine. Unfortunately, he keeps on drawing monsters and continues to just get rid of my tuners, which is annoying. In retrospect, I probably could have just gone for Belial and done it that way, but I don't know. I guess I just wasn't thinking that much this duel. I made a lot of mistakes I could have just gone around things for. That's where I decided to use the Bottomless to stop my ducks. Fear of the unknown, I suppose. But I just continue to wail away, just keep trying to slowly build up a King Calamity for no reason. He decides to go ahead and get rid of my Ravine. Smart move, honestly. Yeah. So at this point, this is kind of the epitome of where it starts to show I was just fucking around. I really didn't care that much. So I did that. He brings this thing out. I very easily could have just Raigeki'd and then gamed him, but again, I'm just trying to build things up and have some fun here at this point, because I know I've won. There's really nothing he can do that can really deter me. He thinks he's found a solution with Instant Fusion, but once he brings out Nodin, I just use Abyss's effect to negate that, because I am having none of that today. And with that, he surrendered. I can hardly blame him for that one. That was that duel. And now we move on to our final duel. I was facing off against a 6-Sam player who I questioned how good he was, but I don't know. Wrong side. Yeah, this is where I actually started teching in Scarlet Security. just because it does essentially the same thing. It's a Harpy's Feather Duster, so it's pretty helpful there, and all I need is a Red Dragon Archfiend with Scar Right is actually stupid easy, so, you know. This guy decided to Dark Hole my singular monster, which felt like a massive waste to me, but what do I know? For some reason, he doesn't set up a Xian right now, even though he has everything he needs to do it. I'm still scratching my head on that one. So I just decided to go ahead and take advantage of this moment and just, you know, set myself up. But he Black Horn of Heaven me before I could get my Scar Ride out, because I would have Scarlet Security just to clear the back row. So here I just decide to use Legionnaire so I can get back Phalanx, summon him out, and then just get rid of the Phalanx so I can get out Mistletoe so I can still get out my Red Dragon Archfiend monster. I'm not going to start Security at this point, though, because that'd be pointless, honestly. And I just kind of took the faith that he was going to be a weak monster, and fortunately he was, so Legionnaire was able to punch over him, and I was able to get him 3k with the damage. Also, just to clarify, it's not that I think that 6-Ams are bad. I actually have, like, immense fear and respect of a good 6-Am player. But just this guy just does weird stuff. Like, it just... I don't know. It's just, I feel like he could have been so much better with this, and he just was lacking in all the wrong ways. Like, oh, I guess I explained why he only then did it. Okay, so please look at that setup he had. He could have gotten 2 Xians, which he has, and decides to Zen mains instead. I mean, I can understand the fear of the giant Red Dragon Archfiend, but, I mean, really? That was the best you had? I mean, it left a 400 attack point monster on your field. That's just... I just don't understand what the thought process behind that was. But anyway, I decided to just go ahead, drop Starlight Security. I didn't need it anymore. He had no back row. And I couldn't get the right monster anymore. So at this point, I decided, alright, let's just go ahead, hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and then just beat the shit out of his end main so it doesn't pop me at the end of the turn. And that's exactly what I do. His Grandmaster does kick in, so he does get to add Elder back to his hand, but I'm not concerned about an Elder when it's the only thing in his hand. Get rid of Zen main, so that threat is no longer a thing, and now I just wait to see how he's going to handle the giant 3000 monster. And he just sets up defense. So, not a whole lot as it was. Yeah, I just bring out Legionnaire so I can do this. Go for Belial. Get out Scar Right. Use his effect to destroy them. And then just game. And that's really all I got for you guys this time. It's definitely a series of cards that I'm thoroughly enjoying and cannot wait to be able to build in real life. But let me know what you guys think down below. Was this a cool series? Do you like the Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro monsters, or are they a bit too much? What other cards would you like me to feature, or what other decks would you like me to show on this? Just let me know down in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to also like me on Facebook, and like the video as well, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, peace.